Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is Orgasm Girl number 2 by Dannphan and Spunkyramaz. For those of you with good memory, you'll probably remember that I did a review on Orgasm Girl number 1 many moons ago. I think I tried to make that video kind of on the funny side, just because, well, the topic in of itself is kind of funny. But anyway, this is the second issue right here, and I guess the quick review of this one is it's good. Kind of still suffers from the same problems of the first issue in that it's a bit on the pricey side for what it is. And again, the art, though I will say that Spunkyramaz has definitely improved, and I like his style change. He changed his style slightly since the first issue. But the art does still lack a little bit in the details and background department. Though, you know, not completely, but still a bit here. One, I guess I would say, interesting thing is this is Oh Girl, but it really is, especially with this issue, Oh Girl and Climax Boy, because it almost feels like Climax Boy is very much a main character in this issue right here. It really stops being just Oh Girl and becomes, you know, basically the partnership between these two characters. But that's not necessarily a bad thing in my eye. In fact, I would say that this issue was a ton of fun, and I think overall a better issue than the first one, so an improvement, at least in terms of this type of genre. And I would definitely recommend for Dannphan to continue on this concept. Maybe retire just Oh Girl by itself and just focus on these as a pair. I don't know, it's like a true dirty pair, I guess is the way to describe it here. Because this was very fun to read. And I don't know what she's going to do with regards to the value, because both of these comic books, I think if they were just the regular $4.99 or $3.99 that you'd see on the comic book stand, I think would be very much worth it, especially considering that this genre and this type of comic book, this sort of romance comedy, is very rare in the American comic book industry. There really isn't many comic books out there that do this, and I know for a lot of my viewers who are more of the traditional comic book fans, this genre is probably not your thing. In fact, you're probably going to think this is more of a manga sort of genre or type of book. And, you know, and that's fine. You know, I'm not trying to convince everybody that watches this video to go pick this up. But for those of you who have been waiting for an American comic to kind of do this type of subject matter, this sort of lighthearted comedy, I can't recommend Orgasm Girl enough. It's good stuff, man. Very entertaining and fun. And I do hope Dannphan continues this, or just other stories like this. I think she's really starting to get into a groove now with her latest releases, and I think she's got a good future as a comic book writer. Anyway, let's just jump into this right here. So here's the cover. Obviously very suggestive. I kind of dig it. So this is Spunkyramaz's art. And then this is Dannphan's actual art. As you can tell, she has a very cartoony kind of art. And then she does really cool. She's been doing this ever since, I believe, Sonic City Witch. She's been doing the catch-up on the backside covers, or just the first page, which I greatly enjoy. This is a bit long in the this is a bit long here for someone to read as they jump into this, but it's not bad. Catches you up on what happened in the first Oh Girl issue, so appreciate it. And then we basically get the introduction of Climax Boy, who is Jack Hoffman. By the way, you actually get, this is Amari Cummings and Jack Hoffman. Fucking Dannphan. And very interesting. He's basically a underwear model, and because he's an underwear model, it's pretty easy for him to get the ladies in bed with him, but he has a secret power, and basically the mirror of Amari, Oh Girl, when he snaps his fingers, he can make any girl climax. to say the least. And what's pretty interesting here, very, very smart work by Dannphan. She kind of brings off the logical issue here with a guy that can make any girl, complete just with a snap of his fingers, and that he ends up always using his power and not having any confidence in himself to have the ability to pleasure girls. And so he ends up in the situation where he doesn't really know what he's capable of, or how to even get himself excited. And eventually he hears rumors of Amari, who has the opposite power, and decides that he needs to go meet her to kind of sort of confront his own fears and issues with his powers, by kind of seeing the opposite power right here. And then it kind of goes into the first issue, and then they kind of team up, and then it's just a bunch of really funny innuendo comedy. This is basically Dannphan's her bread and butter. This is what she, at least from what I can feel reading this, this is what she kind of enjoys, and really I think why she even did this whole series is because the idea, you can't really go too far with this idea. Eventually you're gonna run out of creative juices here. But you can tell that she enjoys making dirty jokes and a lot of situational innuendo humor with this. And anyhow, they ended up teaming up, and then you get a new villain that shows up at the prison where Mistress, which was the villain from the previous issue, is being held. And this guy is basically is basically a Doc Ock rip off with these two chicks next to him. Anyhow, the team ends up getting kidnapped. This is kind of a repetition of what happened in the previous issue. And then a whole bunch of hilarious jokes and just messing around. They end up on top and whatnot, and decide to be a team that goes out and runs down the other degenerates that are out in the world. So again, a little bit fast right here, but this kind of book and genre, it's really meant for you to read and enjoy the jokes and the especially the situational humor. So I'm not going to necessarily ruin it for those of you who do end up picking up this book, which, by the way, both of these are available digitally. So if you don't want to buy a physical copy, you can definitely pick this up digitally on Dannphan's website at burningstarcomics.com. So, and you could also see this is the original logo. This is the new logo. It's kind of interesting to see at this point. But yeah, overall, what are my kind of final thoughts on this? I think it's good. Kind of the same problem as last time. The value to cost is not really there. And so for most people who are casually interested, I would recommend the digital copy. I just happen to be a physical copy guy. And again, Dannphan, she doesn't have a publishing company. She doesn't have any connections or anything like that. She is basically self-publishing this out of her, room, for lack of a better way of describing it. So when you're a self-publisher, it's physical copies are very difficult to deal with when you're small time, right? So for those of you who are more into that, I don't know what to say. Hopefully if she gets big enough, she might be able to hire help that can continuously keep these physical printed copies available. And hopefully they also drop in price, because if this was regular comic book price, I think it would be very, very good. As it is right now, it's a bit on the pricey side. I think these are all, I believe, just under $15 was the cost for each of these, which is a bit pricey, kind of the same deal as the previous one here. But overall, still enjoyed it. A lot of fun. And if this genre or this type of especially if you're into those kind of romantic comedy mangas, I would definitely recommend checking out Orgasm Girl. It's a lot of fun, though wouldn't necessarily go reading this in public, if you know what I mean. Anyhow, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. If you got any comments on Orgasm Girl number 2, leave it down below, and I will see you next time.